Hello, this is Prophet 6, Family Prophet, the angel of the church of the Laodiceans. God bless you. I'm on the heels of the Sabbath. I'm all prepared. I'm just meditating, waiting for, the sun to go down and doing some studies. And I thought I just might give you all a preliminary Sabbath greeting. And also, happy Sabbath, by the way. And also, I wanted to continue my series that I had begun entitled Thus Saith the Lord on how to find a mate to marry. Okay? This is a Thus Saith the Lord. Now, what we want to talk about today is different aspects of relationships. We want to bring some of these things into a clearer focus, and we want to accentuate that which is of the world, that which is of God, and how all of these things, the things that I'm about to mention, relate to the kingdom of God, how they relate to the kingdom mind, the sanctified life. You see what I'm saying? So let's begin. We want to talk about fornication. We want to talk about adultery. We want to talk about petting. That's the first step. Petting. Public displays of affection, which is called PDA. Public displays of affection. We want to talk about all these different things: adultery, fornication, premarital sex. We want to talk about those things in the context of the kingdom. Now, one of the things I have to say, I want to give you all a testimony, okay? This is one of the things that I intended to do at the onset of this series, but in the heat of inspiration, this thing took a back seat. And so now what I want to do is delve into this topic. Now, hear me out. When I became a Christian and I started learning about God, His commandments, salvation, the love of God, I always wanted to please God. Really. I wanted to please God more than my knowledge or fear of hell. Really, I did. Even before I was saved. Even before I was cognizant and knowledgeable about God to the extent that I was around the age of 16. I was amazed by the biblical characters. Solomon, David, Abraham, Moses, John the Baptist, Jesus. And so I had a positive affection for many of the stories and historical accounts that were related in the Bible concerning holy men of God. And so as a result of this affection for the things of God, one of the things I always wanted to do was have a mate. I always saw myself as being married, even as a child, even as an infant, I would even say. I always saw myself as being married, and I always wanted to have children. And so when I first met who is now my wife, I knew her when I was in 5th grade. And so when I was in 5th grade, I was very attracted to this, at the time, girl. And I want to tell you why I was attracted to her. I was attracted to her because of her character. Really, at 10 years old, I was attracted by her character. And I'm not saying that to say that my wife doesn't look good. My wife is beautiful. Aesthetically and characteristically, she's beautiful, period. But she really stood out because of her character. There were girls that looked better than my wife. There were girls that were shaped better than my wife. Even, yeah, at 10, yeah, at 10, yeah, you notice those kind of things as a boy, even at 10. I don't know what those girls was eating back then. But, but, but anyway, and so my best friend was her boyfriend at 10 or 11. Anyway, she ended up moving away, but I always wanted to know where she lived, and I followed her home to see where she lived one time, and I just never could get the guts up to talk to her. Never. Not at 10. I was just too bashful. To make a long story short, we fast forward ahead, I think, from 10 to 24. Okay, so 14 years later, I run into her in a store, a grocery store, and I knew her whole name. But you know what? Before this, when I remember when I was about to graduate from high school, I saw her walking down the street in a ROTC uniform. And I screamed out the window as loud as I could. I remember my father was driving this old Impala. I mean, old school Impala. Big, big old bus of a car. And it was a big old bus of a car. And holler out the window, Kim, Kim. And I wanted my father to stop so bad, but he just kept going. I really didn't even ask him to stop because I was bashful of what I would say to her, but I remember her then. So from fifth grade to um to about 10th grade, I saw her again, hollered out the window, and then I didn't see her again until I was 24. So all those years had passed, and it's interesting because around the age that I was 24, I was looking to get married. As a matter of fact, I was looking for someone to marry when I was 20. Like I said, I always saw myself as being married and with a family, and was always intrigued by the family model, always. And so when I saw her in Jules, I called her by name. It shocked her. My face looked kind of familiar, but she really didn't remember me. And so we started walking through the store, just talking, just talking. And I want to tell you something. We got lost in conversation. Have you ever got lost in conversation? Well, we went from aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle. I didn't even know why I was in the store. I was mesmerized by this creature. I really was. I was like, wow, this girl is still fine. That's what I said. I said, this girl is fling. And then we started talking. I wanted to see where her head was at, where she was in life. And I said, so what do you do in your free time? She said, well, if I'm not at drill, because she was in the armed forces, if I'm not in drill, I'm at church. And I was like, whoa, if you're not in drill? I said, wow, really? She said, yeah, I'm in church on Sunday. I go there on Tuesday. I go there on Thursday and some other days. I can't remember. And I'm like, wow. And when I met her, she had some flashcards with scriptures on them. She was memorizing. Very attracted to that. That was very attractive to me. Drew me nuts. And so I said, wow. So we were just talking and everything. And so it came to time for us to go to the checkout. And her mother, she had came with her mother and her niece. And her mother said, we've been paging you and everything. Where you been? She said, I didn't hear nothing. I said, really? She said, yeah, we've been paging you. And so we was about to check out of the line. And it was time for us to, say our parting words and everything. And you know what? I choked. I could not ask her for a phone number. I couldn't. So the guy at the cash register, which is a guy who was at the register, cashier, he said, hey, hey man, you want a pen or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And so everybody in the line behind me was waiting to see if I was going to ask for her phone number. I wasn't aware of that until he jumped in, and then I casually looked back and everybody was like, yeah. It was kind of crazy. And so she gave me a phone number, address, her zip code, her mama's phone number. She gave me everything. You know, her birth certificate, her social security. I mean, she gave me everything. And you know what I did? I lost it. But anyway, that's not even the part that I wanted to tell you guys. But I'm just going to let this be part 5, okay? Of Thus saith the Lord on how to find a mate. I'm just giving you some insight about me, my family, what I was looking for, what was my frame of mind when I met my wife. And I hope that this will be a blessing to some of you all, because what I'm seeing in Christianity, not good, not good. Not on the single side, not on the engaged side, not on the married side. Not good. Not good. And I'm not saying that my relationship is perfect. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I don't even see the outline of it. I just don't see it. But this is Prophet 6, Family Prophet, to the angel of the church, to the Laodiceans. God bless you. And look for part 6. I'm going to give you the rest of my testimony about what happened after I found the phone. Well, I see, I should have left a cliffhanger for you. But anyway, stay tuned. This is Prophet 6, Family Prophet, to the angel church of Laodicean. Bye-bye.